default record on that computer. God damn it. It's so hard to find good help. Yeah, yes, good. There we go. So nobody missed out on anything. You just missed out on me giving her a compliment, which is like a 1 in a million chance. That was okay. All right. So today's class, we're going to be going over Haymaker defense, the sucker punch defense, and something else, the triangle. That's it. Triangle application from the closed guard. Now, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And you got this. Okay. So, classes, blah, 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 those are on. Everyone's here. We're recording shit. Should be ready at all times.
I was.
Yeah.
I raged, but I did it myself.
Okay, so first off, today we're going to be going over what's called the ready position. Okay, so the ready position means we're going to have our weight in our toes and my hands are going to be up. Okay, so do me a favor. Let's just follow me onto the camera. Perfect. Stay. All right. So, common scenario. Stop it. Yeah, always ready. Common scenario in the streets, in the mean streets. Pause, put your fucking hands down, relax, and roll.
Okay. I can't.
No, good. I ruined you for life. Right now, if I come up to her and I'm talking to her and I am this close, yeah, she's a bouncer now. And she's a bouncer from 1982. I'm ready for the fight. All right, blah, blah, blah. Common scenario, somebody gets a little bit too close for comfort. This is not distance managed, okay? So this just doesn't mean we have to start to arc up right away. If somebody is within about hand's distance, what we need to have is what's called a ready stance, okay, or a ready position. So right now, if I'm about one hand away, I came up just to ask a normal question because I'm a normal fucking guy, okay? Right now, everything, shut up, I am. Everything is wrong, okay? So if you've ever had somebody come up to you, you don't know who they are, and you stand there like, there's no base, okay? You need to be ahead of the curve, and you need to have base, all right? What I did is very simple and very invisible. You're just gonna put your weight in your toes, and you're gonna have your hands higher than theirs, all right? Now, when I say higher than theirs, they keep raising their hands, you don't have to keep raising your fucking hands. I've had some dumbass do that before, like, your job is just to have active hands, and just be Italian, okay? No matter what you're doing, you're talking like an Italian. You're just gonna be very active with your hands. They end up being in the middle by default, okay? So, by default, my weight's in my toes, okay? It's not in my heels. It's a very subtle change, subtle shift. My weight's in my toes so much so that you can slide a piece of paper under my heels. That means if I was to get randomly pushed, it's not going to be the end of the world. If it's in the heels, I'm going to be a step behind for everything, okay? So it's just a good practice to have your weight in your toes and talk Italian, all right? Now from here, if I'm feeling a little bit threatened, that doesn't mean that I needed to do that, because all I've done is escalate the situation and make things weird, right? Maybe she was just coming up to me to ask where the gas station is. My job is just to have my weight in my toes and my hands a little bit higher, okay? Perfect. So now from here, let's talk about escalating the situation, made into a drill, a boring drill about base, because everything is about base, whether you like it or not. If she takes a big step back with that leg, oh, that got worse for me. Okay, Tom, come back to neutral. We've done flinch drills before, and we will do them again and again for the rest of your lives. My hands are just here. If she was to give me a big slap in the ear, perfect. If I was standing like this, yes. My job is to have my hands a little bit higher so that I don't have to try and meet that. I'm always going to be in the middle. Okay, so again, I'm not like this. I'm not a 1980s bouncer. My hands are just normal and relaxed. My weight's in my toes. If she gives me a real big slap, I'm just leaning my weight into that. A real big slap, I'm just leaning my weight into that. It's not a matter of big slap. Good. Don't hold your hand like this. Add a bit of weight. So lean your weight in. Be ready. Boom. Be ready. Boom. Okay? So you're going to be ready now. We're talking. Yes. Good. Yes. So just a bit of a flinch drill with this one for your partner. And if you've done the flinch drill before, feel free to make a fist and reach for the chin as well. Yes. Good. Okay. Now from here, if her hands are up, she's ready. Oh, she's ready. What if I take a big step back? Okay, so your job is to follow that step and maintain base, all right? So let's do that one more time, pause here. You'll notice that if I stay neutral at hand's distance and I swing, I need you to find your base. Yes, the weight's in your toes and the weight's coming forward. When I go to hit, yes, that's much better, okay? Yes, much better. Hands relaxed, breathe, nice and relaxed.
But
Breathe.
it's not relaxing at all.
Nice and relaxed. Good, nice and relaxed. Yes, breathe. You're fine.
No,
Relax.
I'm not.
You're fine. Relax. Good. Now, if I was to take a big step back and do the same thing, you need to stay where you are for this demonstration.
I'm
Stay. Stay. Her reflexes are good. The moment I start to step, she goes, no. If I was to take a big step back, not only do I have more space to fill in the back strike, I have hip rotation, I have centrifugal force, big words. If I take that big step back, this is no longer a big slap sucker punch. This is a haymaker, okay? So just being here and being neutral and saying no isn't necessarily gonna help you, okay? So again, if I'm here, you take a big step back and you go to hit me, it's not going to stop anything. Why am I hitting myself? Okay, so we're going to do a bit of a base test drill. When my partner takes a big step back to hit me, I'm going to step into that gap. Okay, come back to neutral. Don't worry about striking for this first variation. Your partner's going to take a big step back, and you're going to step into base. Again. Again. Good. Now, when I say step into base, there are two forms of base. There's a neutral base where you should be ready and able to cut out slack. Okay? And then there's a 4-point base or a fighting base. All right? So what I mean is this. If I take a step out into the side, right now I'm good side to side, but I'm shit back and forth. If I take a step back, I'm good for pushing a car up a hill, but I'm shit side to side. So what I want from you is this. When you find a fighting base, imagine you're looking to find the middle. Okay? You don't want to be too narrow. You don't want to be too narrow. So when you step in for your partner, I'll step in like this. Take a big step, pull. Okay? A nice firm base. And we're going to test that base in just a second. All right? So one more time. If I'm here, side to side. Here, back and forth. If I make a square out of those two little dots that I just made, over here in that corner and turn the hips. Okay? So eventually, poof. I should be stepping into base. I should be stepping into base. I should be stepping into base, right? Not going, hang on, don't hit it. Now, your job is to be able to go pop base, right? Not fuck you, a box to Cambridge. Base.
What is the base? When Nixon fights, does it is in this base?
Yeah, when Nixon, it depends. Younger Nixon, different. Younger Nixon, fine, I don't care. Older Nixon, like you can watch him walk down the hallway and fucking base, just in case somebody tries to jump him. All right? Your job for now, don't worry about younger Nixon, let's worry about Nixon now, base. I'm gonna take a big step back, you're gonna follow. Perfect, turn your hip bones towards me. Good, you're a bit wide right now.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, that's better. Okay, come back to neutral. Step back. You feeling that? Yeah. Good. Yeah, good. Good. Okay. So now we're going to test our partner's base. We're not going to smack them. What I want you to do is this. Neutral, hands up. Pause. Okay, so from here, this is fairly solid. Her weight's in her toes and she's leaning the weight in. I am continuing to push in that direction across. Don't overdo it. Your job is to continue this motion. So put your feet together narrow. Don't let me touch your face. Pause. Don't let me touch your face. Ah, good. I do neutral base. Good. You're weighting your toes. Don't let me touch your face. Yes. And much different. Good. Now, if I was to take a big step back, you're going to, yes. Your hand should be up. Perfect. Now, if I'm going to touch the face, Yes, I shouldn't be able to move you. Make your feet narrow. A little bit like this, like you're pushing a car up a hill. You feel the difference. That's how you can test your partner's base, okay? So if your partner takes a step in and goes, ha ha, just give them a push. They're gonna start to fall into base. So no one really loses in this game. It's you learning how to find your base, all right? So we're gonna test your base. Now I want you to fuck it up a couple of times, okay? You'll be fine.
Sure.
Jesus Christ. Doing great, man. Hey, good. Yes, yes. Much better. Again. Good. Yes. Perfect. Again. Good. 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 All right, I'm happy. That's not bad. Hey! All right. Now, to add on to this, we're going to talk about collecting. Okay? Now, ooh, yeah. Oh, that happened fast. Starting with your partner from here, we get about 1 hand's distance away from the person. If they give you a slap to the face, my weight should be in my toes, and I should say no. Wow.
Your bones are so hard.
Just bony, all right? She goes to hit me, big smack, boom. She takes a big step back. I need to be able to follow that in. Yes. Okay, so now we have options. What I want to talk about is collecting the arm and adding a little bit of weight, and we'll do it on a couple different angles. Now, depending on the circumstance, somebody goes to smack him, feel free to smack them, all right? At least I was, is to elbow them in the face. Maybe don't. Whatever, elbow them in the face. So from here, if she does swing and I step, I'm stepping in with an elbow to the face. It depends on circumstance, guys, all right? Did they steal your car spot or try not to escalate the situation. What you can do is just move into a clinch, okay? So from here, yeah, let me tell you how to hurt somebody. If you're gonna elbow somebody, don't make a fist and elbow them. Because right now, if you hold your arm up like this and you make a fist, you can feel the meat of your arm. If you open, you're gonna feel that the meat relaxes and there's more bone. Okay? You don't want to hit them with an airbag. You want to hit them with the what do you call it? Crowbar. Yeah. So now from here, make a fist, airbag, release, crowbar. Now, I want the blade, so I'm always going to give them a thumbs down. So if you give yourself a thumbs down right now, you can start to feel that blade running down. That's what you hit with, okay? So if we're here and we're neutral, we don't want any trouble, you can do that too. Thumb goes down, blade goes forward, and all your weight comes in with that. So punching somebody with your fist is just not smart. You can spend the rest of your life toughening this shit up. These are like God's joke. Okay? It's a sack of marbles held together with duct tape. You're gonna hit somebody, hit them with that thing, hit them with this thing, with that thing. These things, you're gonna need big old gloves on so you don't hurt yourself. Hit them with your mind. All right, so let's change sides on this one. Pause here. Partner takes a big step back. What I want from you, when you step in and collect, yes, you can elbow them and ruin their life. But what I want you to worry about the most is this. You're staying sticky. Okay? You're not grabbing onto a bicep. You're not a Wing Chun master. It's not a thing. Your job is to build a ramp and go, nope. Now, if she continues forward, down, down, yes, down, 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 down. I'm staying with it. Okay? If she pulls back, she pulls back. I'm a part of that, and I'm adding weight to it forever. Okay? So, huge thing for you to understand, you never grab someone's bicep. Don't care what the context is. And we'll talk about it some other time. There's some terrible things that happen because of this. It's not a C-claim. It is a monkey grip, and it's just here, and it's my forearm blocking, okay? It's not me making some kind of cool frame. It's just going, no, and staying sticky, okay? Again, my partner's gonna take a big step back, smack me. I'm gonna say, no, I'm fine here, okay? I didn't have to elbow them in the face, and I can take this time to move them around and do whatever cool thing I want to do. If she goes to hit me with the other hand, I need to be aware of that. She needs to be aware of this, okay? So feel free to headbutt them. You can elbow them, you can headbutt them, or we could just clinch. Okay, oh, thank you. All right. We can just move into the clinch. So one time, I'd like you to practice with your partner. Your partner's going to be 1 hand's distance away. They're going to take a big step back. You cover that distance, collect. See if they can pull that back easily. Good. Other hand. Good. Hold them both back. Good. Nothing wrong with this. Okay? If you do need to headbutt, don't headbang. Drive from your hamstrings upwards. Okay? Move your way into the clinch. Let's talk about not damaging your person moving into the clinch now. We good? Actually, you should try this. Take a big step back. Yes.
Here we go.
The left one, I feel like I'm doing slow motion.
Boom. Good. Again. I'm teaching. I take a big step back. Come into the clinch. So elbow to the chest. Boom. The other chest, not the neck. Elbow to the chest. Come to the clinch. Okay? I take a step back. Oh, wow. How's your base going? Your base is great. Take a step in and add weight. Yes. Yes. Good. Take a step in, add weight. Yes. Good. Again.
Sorry.
Clinch.
I got it.
I know you got into it. So yeah, apparently you can elbow the chest and shit hurts. Feel free to just move into the clinch. Let's talk about the clinch. Your partner's going to start here, 1 hand's distance away. They're going to take a big step back. From here, we're covering the distance. If you flip them on the way in, good. Hand comes down. I've got over-unders. My job is to hang off the arm and shuffle off into the side. Arm, over here. Your partner's going to swing again. Touch the elbow to the chest. Let the hand come down like a windshield wiper and cover the distance. Now from here, I'm hanging off of this arm, lifting this one to the ceiling. Solid. Be solid. Don't just flop. Come around to the side. Okay? What we need to do is move into a side clinch. Front on's fine, but front on affords opportunities for strikes. Okay? Side clinch affords opportunities for you to strike them. All right? From here, pause, neutral base, 1 hand's distance. Your partner takes a big step back. Your job, cover, clinch, hang off into the side. Now, when we get to the clinch, how you hold this is very important. If I hold on the ribs, turn towards me. Come back. If I hold the hip bone itself, turn towards me. Good. If I keep my head out, headbutt me. Keep your chin tucked, keep your eyes down. Headbutt. Good. If I'm up, touch my eyes with your left hand. Come again. Touch my eyes with your left hand. Good. C-clamp on the tricep, elbow pinched in tight to the hip bone. If I'm not holding on, pull your elbow back. Come back. If I'm not holding on, pull your hand down. Come back. Never put your nose before your toes. Hold my head to the ground. Come back. Chin tuck, head tight, hand on the hip, C-clamp on the tricep, elbow pinched in. She pulls away. I should be solid. I never look like a letter T. She pulls away, I get pulled. I should always look like a shitty letter V, a really wide one. She pulls, yes. She continues to pull, continue, boom. And then hook takedown every time. What we're gonna deal with for this drill is the headlock, okay? So let's say 1 hand's distance, your partner gives you a big old step back and a swing, cover, clinch, achieve your angle. Now from here, you can test your partner, test the arm, test the head, test all of this. And at the very end, your partner is going to put you in a headlock. Shit, come back. Your partner's going to put you in a headlock. Put on a shoehorn, okay? Touch your ear and your shoulder together. Get used to that like a muscle memory movement, okay? You're in the clinch.
Kind of say you forget to check that too.
If she puts an arm over my head, between my shoulder and my ear, I'm in a headlock and I have to deal with headlocks. It's not the end of the world. There's always an answer. Time. Do that again. Continue. Okay. We're taking away that gap. So I'm going to stay here, nice and tight. When my partner goes for the headlock, I still hold the arm and I let them go. Now when I get here, I can do whatever I want because I'm behind. You're going to do it.
Should I get this, guys?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Use yourselves.
You just comments. There's no comments so far. All right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, flinch drill. I take a big step back. Now you don't have to step in like this. Have your hands up. Maybe I just took a step back. Your hands are in. Yes, that's better than nothing. You're good. Keep your hands neutral. You're not escalating anything. You are literally fine. If I take a step back, this is a little bit fucking weird, man.
Dude.
It's a little bit fucking weird. Now, if I took a big step back, that's different. Okay? When you do this, take a step back and hit me. It's not a thing. Your job is to be covering distance. Okay? So right now, take a step back and don't hit me. That's fine. This is fine. Let's imagine not everyone starts life like this. And now, if somebody takes a fucking step back and starts to arc up a little bit, that's something to watch out for. Okay? Also, watch out for guys doing this shit. That's just a telltale sign. Okay? Everyone's got their own little way of arcing up for shit. Everyone's got their own little thing before they start to smack people. Right now, her thing is literally this. Probably don't fucking do that. Right now. Right now, my hands are in the middle. You take a step back. I'm just gonna find my base just in case. Okay? Now, maybe you took a step back like this. Yeah, that's a normal thing. Yeah, this. Cover and clinch. Cover and fucking clinch. If you ever meet her in person, she starts to do this shit. Cover and clinch. She's gonna kick you in the nuts. Every time.
Oh!
Every time. That's how you fight. It's amazing. What I want from you for this one. Okay? I'm gonna take a step back. You're just gonna find your base. Okay, good. All right. I'm gonna take a step back. You're just gonna find your base. Yes. That was 100% better. Now this time, when I go to hit you, clinch. Don't think about anything cool. Cover the distance and hug me. That's all. Hug me like you love me. Oh, that's it. Nothing wrong with this. We came in a bit low.
Yeah.
You come around the back. That's fine. You are tiny. If you are tiny and someone gives you a haymaker, it is always an option to slip underneath into the back. Okay, always.
Okay.
From here, if I was to swing, just duck a little. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll teach that in later classes, okay? So, yes, good. But let's say, God forbid, someone's 4 foot tall and makes a fight with you. Good. Oh, what was that? You ready? Yeah. You ready? Yes. Yes. Why is your head going under my arm every time?
That's, I want to smell your armpits.
I want you to hold my arm and be heavy. So pause here. I'm here. I'm gonna hang on this arm. I'm gonna lift to the ceiling. I'm not doing this.
Well, let's do it slowly then first.
Very slow. Take a step back. Hang off of the arm. Cover the distance. Hang off of the arm. Cut the angle. Yes. Good. Very good. Pause here. Turn towards. Yes. Very good. Yes. Better. Good. Okay. Good. Yes. No. Come here.
I'm too new.
Touch the ground. Why can I pull my elbow out?
And then.
Yes. That's better. Good. Shit. Good. Can't headbutt.
If I go under.
Headbutt. Yes. Very good. Now, the thing I want you to add on to that again, pick me up. Pick me up. Use your hips and pick me up.
From that position? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, genius. Perfect.
It's on this side.
So you hit me through that one.
Good. One hand distance. Nice and relaxed. Remember to breathe. Take your time with this. I take a big step back. Go. Cover the distance. Yes. Get into the clinch.
So yeah, that's what it is.
The whole time.
Okay.
No.
I can
Okay.
immediately.
Distance.
Elbow your chest is. I try and take this out.
Cover the distance. Get to the clinch. I'm gonna
And
test
slip
you.
your head down.
Elbow, hand,
Sorry. If you try and put me in a headlock,
Slip the headlock. Yes. Pick me up.
I'll go straight so you can't do it. My arm straight so you can do it.
Shit.
It's perfect.
All right. So there's a whole bunch of shit to play with that one. What I want to move on to do is the triangle from the guard. So the first thing we're going to have to go over is how to apply a triangle properly. All right?
There's a bunch of people training.
Oh, fantastic. Is everybody punching each other?
I just mute them. Sorry, guys.
Is that a thumbs up or a fuck you? I can't tell. Fine, I'll take both. It's fine. We're recording, right? We're good? Okay. So last time with this, before we move into the ground drill, quick synopsis. Start with your partner in what's called the ready position. Pause. Relax the fuck out.
Can't.
Chill. One hand's distance, my weight's in my toes. You're the asshole that came up to me because I'm not going to do this. Okay? Any one time somebody's within a hand's distance, put your weight in your toes and just have your hands up and say, I don't know where the gas station is. Maybe you do. It's fucking over there. From here, my hands in neutral. If she wants to touch my face, yes. It's very easy to deal with because we can switch those forever. She takes a big step back. Shit. She takes a big step back. Nothing wrong with doing this either. Distance needs to be managed properly. She takes a big step back. Maybe I'll step in. Okay? We test our partner's base by pushing. Yes. Good. Other side. Yes. Good. Now, our partner takes a big step back and they're going to smack us. They mean it. Boom. Touch your elbow to the chest. Hang off of the arm. Cover the distance. And now create the angle. Now your partner can test you again. They can test your base by pulling away, turning towards you. Good. Now, headbutt, touch my eyes. Pull your arm out. Mean it. Good. Headlock. Slip out into the back. When you get to the back, use your hips to lift. Boom. Now they have no base. Take the legs up from underneath them, and we will be doing a class specifically on rear takedowns. I believe that's the next class. Okay? You good? Are you a black belt yet? Big swing. Yeah, big swing. If I'm short, I can slip. Okay? Big swing. If I'm fat, I can.
You don't even entertain the fact you just take
Right?
it.
If they're shorter than me, she just made a big swing. There's nothing wrong with collecting the arm either. When we collect the arm, last thing to add on about this, big swing, it is not fucking this. That is not a thing. Okay? Big swing, I'm covering, pause. My elbow is staying tight, my hands slide down, and I hang heavy off of this person. Everything you do should involve being heavy and an asshole. Okay? All right. Triangle.
Yeah.
First off, since I can hear shit, is there any questions about what I just taught?
I don't have any.
Everything.
Good. Just
You were pretty crystal clear.
Sorry.
You were pretty clear.
Oh, thank you. All right. All right.
Concise.
I'm going to show you how to do a triangle that doesn't suck. All right. Just because you have a head and an arm between your legs doesn't mean you're fucking good at it. Trust me. Okay. So, can you see this in the camera? Ah, guard. So, worst case scenario, we were in the mount after an awesome takedown, let's say a body hold or a leg hook. We get rolled off, and we're in inverted mount. The guard. Okay? We're just going to go over the basic application of a triangle before we go over any setups. For now, start with your partner on their knees, one hand on the ground between your legs, one hand on the ground on the outside. Okay? Now, here, the basic triangle is me wrapping up here and squeezing and lifting the hips and taking the arm across. You don't have to do any of that. Okay? I want you to put your head up. I'm going to squeeze. What's your name? Say it louder. Perfect. I'm going to just shift my hip. What's your name? Okay. It is a tiny shift that makes all the difference. What we need to do is come out.
Yeah, I buckled this.
Okay? So start with your partner here. Your ankle.
That's the one.
Arm in.
Yeah.
Now from here, I'm gonna put my foot on their
Hey
hip.
Cole, can you put yourself on mute, man? I end up seeing you more than I see Chris.
I want you to lift yourself and shift yourself, okay? So again, foot on the floor, foot on the hip, I don't give a shit. Your job, if it was me personally, I like to put my foot on them. I always want to be adding weight to this person. If you need to put on the floor to shift, that's fine. But anytime you can be a dick to someone, be a dick. Add weight. My hips are lifting to the ceiling. I'm going to shift them out. You can notice that from here, my hamstring can easily touch the carotid arteries. Okay? Now, I wrap gentle. My knees are going to hinge together and pull to knee. I did not have to do anything fancy. If you apply this correctly, you don't have to lift the hip and take the arm across. You don't have to do anything. Let's try this one more time with our partner. One arm in, one arm out. Pause here. Legs crossed. I pinch my knees, I pull into me. What's your name? Louder. Foot on the hip. Lift the hip, shift the hip. Now from here, if you need to, monkey grip on your shin. Never grab your foot. Let's consider that a safety tip for fucking life. If this person just does a deadlift, you break your foot. Trust me. Hold on to the shin. Lock it in, nice and snug. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're not flexible enough, if you achieve the angle, how do you feel? Okay. If you really hate them, lock it in tight. You're going to do it to me now. Good. Again, start with your partner, one hand in, one hand out. Cross your ankles over my back. You're fine. Don't overthink it. Right now, everything is tracked in the right place, but it's on the wrong angle. Start to pinch your knees. Go back a step. Start to pinch your knees and start to pull them to your chest. I'm well aware. I'm teaching you things. Start to pinch your knees and pull your knees to your chest like you're fucking tall.
Okay.
Put your foot on my hip bone. Lift your hip, shift your hip. Now cross your ankles again. And I want you to pinch your knees and pull it. That was good. Let's do that. Yes, you have. For a year, for a literal year and a half, you've done this. Good Lord.
I never done it with just passing.
Put your angle is off.
Okay.
Pause. Put your foot on my hip and pause. Put your foot on my hip, lift your hip, and nothing else. Lift. Shift. Yes. See, I kind of fall into this gap. Good. Pause here. Never let that gap be wide. You can hear my voice. Take everything away on that side. Now, you do not have to put the arm across if you do this correctly. Cross your legs. Good. Pause here. Pinch your knees. Now gently pull them to your chest. I'm never going to give it to you. Grab the back of my head, pull it down. Your job is to be more like a trash compactor than anything. Okay, so if I'm here and I cross my ankles, you should see a large triangle. Okay, if I shift my hips and I cross here, that triangle gets a bit smaller. Okay, it's because of that angle we've created. What are you doing? From here, I'm pinching my knees, making it smaller, bringing my knees to me, making it smaller, and now I'm going to pull the head down. And everything is in this tiny little gap. It's not here and then hoping for the best. And I'm going to do a TV choke instead. Don't do it wrong the first time, and you don't have to do 30 variations. Okay? Also, never lift the hips to take the arm across. You don't have to. Come here. It's a common mistake. We'll talk about the setup in a second. Right now, I want you to lock the triangle on. Yes, my voice is very different right now. I want you to stop squeezing and lift your hips to the ceiling to take my arm across. Yes, lift the hips to the ceiling. Everything that I need to survive, you give me by doing that, okay? Your job is to keep this person's nose before their toes and squeeze. The moment you lift, you give them base and you give them multiple escapes, okay? The arm does not need to be across as long as you shift the hips and take out all the slack. Okay? So one more time. Cross your ankles over my back. Perfect. If you were to lift your hips right now and take my arm across, there's no reason I need to stay down. Okay? Let's just cut that out to begin with. Now, I want you to just lift and shift. So put your foot on the hip, shift, lock it in. Even if I bury my arms underneath and I say no, I want you to gently pinch your knees together, pull the knees together. Yes. Your job is to compress everything, okay? Don't expand and give them things. Okie dokie. So I think I yelled about that enough. Let's do the setup for this. And there's a whole million setups. If I showed you how to do an open spider guard, upside down, 93 guard, there's a fuck ton. Doesn't matter. I should apply it the exact same. Okay, so let's think of this as like a filter. You can do whatever cool triangle you were used to doing, but I want you to do the lift and shift and compress to finish. Okay? So again, start from the close guard with your partner. From here, you're going to put your feet on the hips, extend away. You're going to wrap up a lasso. From here, switch grips, take double grips, invert, throw the leg over, and finish the triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm going to heal her in the kidneys as much as I can before I do a triangle. So let's start back from the guard, and let's review the idea of not getting punched in the face. So from here, not sports. Right now, she can touch my face. I could, not necessarily good, okay? From here, what I need is distance to be managed. I'm pulling her in, and I'm hanging off of the neck, trapping the arm, okay? So my legs are crossed around the waist, heels are pinched and pulled to me. They're not down and weightless. I'm always pulling my knees to me, and my heels should be in line with the tailbone. Monkey grip on the back of the neck, hand on the scapula, elbow pinched in, okay? Now, the setup for this, if they punch, I can collect, and we can move into stage 2. But what I want to talk about is the idea of what's called a vale-tudo guard, okay? From here, I'm going to bite the back, straighten the leg, and shift the hip, okay? Remember what I was talking about before? Lift up, please. Putting your foot on the hip bone to lift yourself and shift yourself. Come back down, please. From here, I can't put the foot on the hip bone. She's here. My job is to make sure if I open my guard, walk away. Come back. Walk away. It's a part of me. So I'm taking out the slack. Now for me to shift my hip, I could put my foot on the mat. It's fine. But what I want to do is I want to add weight to this person. Does it feel good? No. Nothing feels good about this. My job is to bite the back and shift the hip. Okay? So I'm straightening out my leg and I'm driving that leg in. My elbow and my knee touch. From here, I can cross my ankles again and keep weight on their head. When we cross the ankles, I want you guys to put your left foot, the top foot, needs to be a shelf. The bottom one goes on top of the shelf. If we switch that around, take your left hand and push my shin to the ground. If they're strong, they can. Take your left hand and push my shin to the ground. Now I have backup for strength, okay? So we're building a structure. When you shift, you're gonna build a shelf and put your leg on the shelf. Now from here, we have the ability to do the triangle and more, a whole bunch of stuff. And like I was saying before, I also have the ability to strike properly because I'm on an angle, okay? This is a great place for me to be. The triangle itself, once we have shifted, C-clamp on the wrist, push, pull, and your hips are gonna extend. If you have the ability to get your leg out, look at the angle I'm on because of what I just did. All because of that angle. Come back, please. If I'm here and I'm not flexible, it's still a thing, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go back to the start. We're just gonna shift, okay? And you're gonna do it to me. I'm gonna do it one more time. Relax. Hold on to your partner and punch block stage 1. If you haven't seen that, you can go through the videos, or I'm just gonna teach it again and again and again and again until you hate me. My job right now is my legs are crossed around the waist, heels are pulling to me, knees are pulling to me. Hand on the back of the neck, hand on the scapula. From here, we're gonna bite the back and shift the hip, okay? I straighten my leg out to shift. My elbow is gonna clear that arm out of the way and touch my knee. Okay, now from here, I can push myself away and cross my legs properly, all right? So top leg ends up being a shelf, bottom leg goes onto the shelf, and you can start to push and pinch the knees, and you can use this place to ruin their life. Feel free. You don't have to do a submission. Maybe you just start to strike. Just put a finger in their ear. Now, the fun part is, the more you want to be mean about this stuff, the worse it gets. Okay? Really mean it and sit up straight. The worse this stuff gets over time.
Oh, Jesus.
The more you make someone overcommit to something, the easier submissions become. So let's talk about shifting the angle so that we're not bearing the weight. So, just as a quick concept for you to understand, right now I am, I don't know pounds yet. Kilos, I'm like 76 kilos, right?
That's 76 kilos weighing on her.
It's not fun. If she was to shift off into the side, now there's only about 40 something kilos, okay? She only has to bear half of the weight. You always want to be on an angle. Imagine you were standing and striking. Do you want to be in a straight line with this person, or do you want to be on a better angle for attack? You don't want to be carrying weight. You want to be adding weight to them. You want to be in a comfortable place, okay? So that's why we're doing this specific drill, moving from side to side, right? So pause here.
Hand on the neck. And I want that hand on my back. Good. Reach the elbows in. Yes. Pull your knees to you. Good. This is solid. This round, she should stay sticky to me. Very good. I want you to pull your right heel to your butt.
Right here.
Yes. I want you to straighten your left leg. And yes. The more you start to push that leg, the easier it is to shift.
Yeah.
I want you to use your elbow and your knee to clear my arm out of the way. Pause here. You need to continue holding my neck. Now, I want you to cross your legs over my back. The top one is a shelf, bottom, yes, yes, very good. Now, from here, you've achieved a good angle. That's going to open up the triangle itself. Let's pause, and we're going to do that on another angle for them to see. I'm going to add steps.
I don't know if they can hear you.
They can hear me.
Okay.
And that inside American voice. Pause here. Hugging nice and tight. If I was to push off the ground, she stays sticky. What she needs to do right now, she needs to bite the back and shift the hip. Yes. Can you mean it more? More. Use your elbow and your knee to clear things. Yes. Cross your ankles over my back. Yes. Yes. Now you can test your partner. See if you can push it down. Never let go of my hand again for the rest of your life. I don't care if it hurts. Never let go. You let go of my hand. I said never let go. Hold that hand. Perfect. Swap hands. Yes. Now this hand can help you get the triangle. Hold me up. You should be holding my neck. Yes. Much better. Time.
Okay, let's do that one more time. We're gonna do it on this end. Start with your partner in a closed guard.
Posture broken. Hand on the neck, hand on the back. Heels are pulling in, knees are pinched. Perfect. If I do a push-up, she's sticky and annoying. From here, she's gonna bite the back, shift the hip. Yes. Use the elbow and the knee to clear. Yes. Cross your ankles properly. I'm gonna check it. Good. Now swap the hands. Good enough.
Everything was perfect and on point until I said the new thing. And when I said the new thing, she kind of went, maybe time. I haven't taught that yet. So let's go with that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna achieve the angle to do the triangle. Okay? So again, from here, I'm biting the back to shift the hip, and I use my elbow and my knee to clear shit out of the way. Now, I'm gonna build a frame, put up a little shelf and hold on tight. This is where we work. This is where you are. okay? So from here, you're pushing your head down and away. This hand is gonna slide down the tricep, slide down the wrist, okay? I have a C-clamp on the wrist and I'm pushing my shin into her arm. I'm hugging on to the neck, okay? Sit up straight. It's hard to do, mean it. Sit up straight, yes. That's creating a lot of space. That space is what I'm going to use to get my leg out, okay? So again, like I said, there's another variation on a theme. There's a million variations on a theme. But for now, you're just gonna pull your foot out, okay? If you don't have room, we'll go over that in just a second. Your foot comes out. Now from here, hold your shin. Lock everything in nice and tight. Your knees pinch, they pull to you, and you can hold on. Okay? Again. Start from stage one. Your partner does a push-up off of the ground. Perfect. Come back. I'm going to bite the back, shift the hip, clear the arm out of the way. I build a shelf just in case. Swap hands. C-clamp on the wrist, push, pull. If you're having trouble getting your legs out, push your hip forward. That's going to create a whole bunch of space for you, okay? Common mistake is people just let go of everything on the way to doing this. Continue to bite the back the whole time. As you wrap, grab, and grab. Knees pinch, pull in. Okay, you're going to do it to me?
I was so happy you were teaching this. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Pause here.
Shift. That is gone. Good work. Pause here. Use your elbow and your knee clear. Very good. Build that shelf. Are you happy with your shelf?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Swap the hands, grab the wrist.
Very good. Now, I want you to pull your knee to you and push your knee. Yes. Pause. No. Push your knee away. Extend your hips. Yes. Don't let my head go. Don't let my head go. Yes. Keep it nice and heavy into you. Perfect. Pull your leg out. Yes. Take out the slack. Wrap it up. Hips, knees, palm it up. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, you had a moment. That was really good. I want you to do that one more time. I don't know why I pushed you away. Come back.
To get the angle. Yeah.
All this is to get the angle for what's called a triangle. All right. Pause. Wrap up the guard. Yes, good.
Good. Shift. Yes. Lean that shift more. Lean. Yes, that's good. That's good. Yes. Okay.
Yes, this is okay. You're doing good. Get that leg free. Get that leg free. Yes. Yes. Pause. I'm in a straight line with you. Put your foot on my hip. Lift your hip. Shift your hip. Watch it. Lean it. That was very good. Okay. Now, secondary application of this is when somebody punches you. So what I need you to understand before we do the last variation, you were in what's called punch block. Now from here, if she was to give me a big swing to the rib cage, boom, that's a terrible thing for me. Give me that big swing to the rib cage, fantastic. It's the exact same angle, okay? So from here, when your partner goes to the swing, you're covering that distance with your shin. You're gonna swap hands and grab onto the tricep. Now, if they swing here, we're in stage 2 of punch block, okay? If they don't swing, feel free to shift the hip, C-clamp on the wrist, and bite the back. We're in the exact same position known as a vale tudo blow, okay? Now, the last thing I want to add on to this, I'm flexible. I have the ability to get my leg out. I might not be. Hug my leg a little bit tighter. Now, yes, I can't get that leg out. What I can do, instead of pulling my leg out, I can push it through and tuck the hand. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? So if you're having a little bit of struggle because of angle and maybe you did leg day for fucking 6 months, your job now is not to hold the leg, it is to push. Now from here, you're tucking the hand in, you're wrapping up that triangle and I don't care what happens next. You should be on a beautiful angle where everything is simple. The last thing I can add to this, I don't ever want to be uncomfortable for a submission. I want you to put my knee on my face. So get up. Yes. Never, ever, ever give up your structure for a submission. If you have to let it go, let it go. It's not worth breaking your spine for this. But here's a quick tip. I want you to put my knee on my face. Just walk back on your shoulders. Walk back on your shoulders. You never, ever let your spine get compressed. Your spine stays straight for jiu-jitsu, okay? Everything outside of that, you can be as weird as you want. But for now, if I have an arm lock or a triangle, my spine stays straight. And it stays straight by me not letting my hips go towards my face is not worth it. I walk on my shoulders and I drag them out to death.
They're doing it.
Oh, they're doing it? You're doing it! I'm so proud of you! You're doing it!
Lift and shift.
Are they doing good?
Can tell.
It looks good. Now we can get super annoyingly technical with triangles and their setups. What I want from you right now is to understand the structure of a triangle has it in the title, okay? You should not be crossing your legs in a straight line. You should be off on an angle, okay? When you're off on that angle, if they try to compress you, you don't get to be compressed. You walk on your shoulders, and there's a bunch of fancy stuff we can add on to that later, okay? The last thing I want to talk about is if somebody hunkers down on your hips, there's something we do called a guard get up, and that guard get up actually affords you a lot of heel kicks to the face and the collarbone and a good triangle setup, okay? Also, you can do it from stage 5 standing, but right now, let's think of it as a dance move, and I'm going to show you how to do this application, okay? So final application, up my guard. Okay, so from here, maybe I can shift easily and do things. But what happens if she was to put her weight here, heavy on me? Yes, so you can stay on your knees. You don't have to stand up and do anything else. Let's just say all your weight's up here. And now it's a little bit harder for me to shift and change that angle. What I want you guys to do is this. You're going to cross your legs a little bit higher. You're going to extend them away and push the head down into the side. Now, we're going to do a hip escape. You can put your foot on the mat, or you can use them to put your foot on the hip bone. Now, we can use this to stand up, but what I want you guys to do is slide the hands down from the head, down the arm, and hold nice and snug. 2 feet find the hips.
Oh, God.
Okay, just as a dance move. And what I want from you as a good bad guy is your weight coming forward forever. Mean it. Perfect. From here, I extend you away. You still mean it. I push your head away. You still mean it. My foot hits the hip. You still mean it. I'm running down your arm. You still fucking mean it. Come in. Don't flop. Come on, right belt. Mean it. Touch my face. Mean it. I'm going to go ahead and be a good bad guy. And she's going to do this step by step. You got this. You're doing good.
I'm not completely aware of what's supposed to happen.
You're a white belt. You just get used to that. All right, pause here. Punch block.
This feels good. It feels like you can shift and do things, right? How does this feel?
Yeah.
It's a little bit claustrophobic. Pause. I want you to get your legs higher up. Higher, higher. Yes. Get your knees extend away. Yes. You feel that.
Yeah.
2 hands on my head. I want you to push my head away. Very good. You feel how I'm still trying to come towards you.
Yeah.
You know what happens if I do this? Not that. So if I go away, open guard. Hey, very good. Come back. Okay, so to be a good bad guy, so your partner can do this, continue your weight forward. If your weight comes back, whole nother move, whole nother class. Again, my weight is forward. Pause. Cross your ankles higher on my waist. Good. Extend away, push my head. Yes. I'm still coming forward. I want you to put a foot on my hip bone, and I want you to shift your hip like a hip disc. Yes. Put that foot on my hip. Now, take those hands that are on my head, slide them down my arm into a C-clamp. A C-clamp. Yes. Perfect. You've got everything you need. I want you to pull that knee to your face and wrap up a triangle. 100%. That was very good. You want to try it one more time? Okay. We got time. Okay. That was good. You caught on to that one really fast. All right.
It's a mix of all the things you got.
Oh my God, I know, right? So it's basically your hip escape.
You can also do an arm walk from there.
You can do other things. Jiu-Jitsu is limitless. You can also heel kick them in the face. So you don't have to get fancy. Feel free to just heel kick and get away. So I'm going to show you guard get up at the end of this just in case, because it's fun. And I like to do what's called a shine box on my students. Come back. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Lock it up. Stage one. Okay. What is this? What is this crap? Yes. That's much. Yes. Now from here. Fly your legs up. Yes. Push my head. Yes. Very good. Put your feet on the hips. Start to push away. Yes. I still want to grab. Very good. Now pause here. No. Pause. Right now, I can't get to you. This is good. If I back away, you let me back away. Okay? But right now, what if I do this? You got that arm. No, don't let me do that.
Okay.
Yes, that's yours now. Good. From here, that's the perfect time. Come back. Foot on the hip. Right now, not a good time. Not a good time. Yes. 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 Now, pause. That angle is shit. Shit. Yes. Change it. Yes. Yes. Lift the hip and shift the hip. Let's do that one last time. You're doing okay. This is good. What are you doing? No. Extend the legs. Push the head. Yes. Now the feet. Yes. 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 God. That happens. That definitely happens. I had a good one where I got a guy like that. I was like, some bullshit. Never happens. The next damn day after I learned that happened. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Go on then. Okay. So we went over Haymaker preliminary defense. So sucker punch. Finding your base, collecting, and moving into a side clinch. At the end of the side clinch, we shifted to the back because they went for a shitty headlock. Okay? You should get used to covering that distance. Okay? Don't have to deal with more shit. You should always be ready to go. No. Slip to the back. Hoist and slam. Good. All right. After that, basic application of a triangle from what's known as Verde to low guard. So the triangle application in general, lift, shift, don't ever get stacked. Period. You can do all the fancy stuff you want later on in life. Whatever setup you use, lift, shift, don't ever get stacked. And it's going to make your life a whole lot better. You're not going to slip as many discs. It's not worth it for the win. Okay? Now, after that, we shift it off into what's known as a ballet judo guard. And I'm going to teach a lot of that over time. It'll be a little bit slower. Ballet judo guard is one of the most essential things I'm ever going to teach you. All right, that is your stay safe area where you can cause so much damage to this person. We shifted our weight into 1.5, wrapped up the triangle and finished. And then we did, I think, what do they call it? I think Torrance Academy calls it the giant killer, because you have like a giant kind of hugging down on you and you push them away. It's a guard get up triangle or open belly to go triangle. Right? But if you're interested in looking it up more, it's called a giant killer. There's a giant killer variation. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to say with the 1 minute that I have, hop back in. You're fine. Hug on to me. Good. So maybe they're not doing anything. Maybe I don't feel like I feel good about this fight. My job now, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm pushing them away. 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 And I'm standing in base. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay? You do not have to continue this fight. You do not have to do a triangle. What you do have to do eventually is your fucking warm-up. Your warm-up forever and ever and ever are the most important things. Forward roll, backward roll, break fall, standing in base. Hip escapes, standing in base. Okay? So do that forever and ever and ever. 1 o'clock on the dot. Punch!
Ah,
You did it! We did it! Okay, before I go, is there any questions? Are we still on mute?
I think they can mute it.
You can unmute yourself if you have any questions about anything.
I think they can. Can you?
Motherfucker, are you dressed up like Spider-Man? That shit is awesome. Good for you, man.
I work on phone.
She worked on Spider-Man. She won an Oscar on Spider-Man.
No, I didn't.
You guys got any questions? All right, you guys stop sucking. They have an excuse. I'm new. You guys, oh, it's been years. Get your shit together. Okay, let's call it. Wonderful class. Thank you all for joining in. Waving. Aw.